Hi, this is the Lord Wordworm Advanced tutorial. It's designed to give more details on the topics covered in the basic tutorial, so it's best if you watch the basic one first. On the toolbox there are two other buttons I haven't discussed yet. The arrow button is used to change the location of the toolbox. If we click it once, it moves above the board. Click it again, it moves below the board. This can be useful for players who have limited vertical space on their browser, particularly if they've installed additional toolbars up the top. If you have a limited space, you may want to move the toolbox above the board while you're working on the top area of the board. The other button is the sound button here, and that's quite simply used to turn the Lord Wordworm sounds on and off. Both of those preferences are saved on each player's individual PC. You may prefer one configuration at work and a different configuration at home, for example. The buttons on the toolbox have shortcut keys which enable you to select them using the keyboard. These keys are listed in the advanced guide on the website, but the most important are the A to Z keys, which enable you to select the letters using one hand and to flip out and place new tiles using the other hand on the mouse. For example, I'm going to select the letter G. Each letter is worth between 1 and 30 points based on how frequently they occur in four-letter words. To replace vacant letters, press the letter button. Letters are chosen randomly based on their transition frequency, which is how often that letter can be used to create a new word. But to keep it simple, you can just assume the higher scoring letters are also harder to replace once they've been used. The advanced guide discusses all of this and the differences between these two concepts in more detail. It also shows some charts that illustrate the exact probabilities. Each new letter costs 1 cent from your Lord Wordworm bank. However, new letters are not limited to just those vacant ones. Therefore, an efficient way to play is to use up as many letters as possible before getting new ones. To increase the likelihood of replacing a vacant letter, you can put up to 3 magnets on it. The first magnet doubles the probability and costs 5 cents. Here you can see the letter L has 1 magnet on it, shown by the 1 circle. Applying a second magnet doubles the probability again and costs an extra 10 cents. Once we press the magnet button, you'll see there's a probability bar shown under all of the letters, which gives an indication of the relative probability. The third magnet doubles the probability once more and costs an extra 15 cents. Therefore, 3 magnets cost a total of 30 cents and increase the probability by 8 times. You'd usually only choose this option if you had to get a rare letter very quickly. And clicking the Help cursor on the letter will show you the exact probability at that point in time. Lord Wordworm uses a word list comprising standard 4-letter words, excluding proper nouns, words usually considered offensive that don't have any other valid definition, and words requiring apostrophes such as don't and isn't. Clicking the Help button on a tile will show you information about that tile, including its score, any gem underneath it, and clickable links to the word's definition. There are 5 different ways to increase your Lord Wordworm bank balance. Every tile you place deposits 1 cent into your bank. Collecting emerald gems deposits an amount as shown on that gem. Every game you submit adds a bonus of 1 cent for every 50 points you've scored. You can also receive up to 20 cents for 48 hours of inactivity. In other words, whilst you're not playing the game, you can receive up to 20 cents. This is discussed briefly in the basic tutorial, and specific details are given in the advanced guide, including a chart showing you how that amount is applied. And you can top up your Lord Wordworm Bank using a debit or credit card. The top-up facility uses our proprietary SSS payment system, providing simple, safe and secure payments. To use it, you enter your credit card number, your expiry date, and select the amount you wish to transfer. If you wish to see an estimate of this amount in your local currency, press this button and select the currency of your country. Then we press the top up button. We'll be asked for a password and then asked to confirm that password to make sure that we entered it correctly. And the top up has been processed. You can see our Lord Wordworm Bank balance has now increased by $1. If during this session you wish to top up again, it's even easier. You press the top up button, select our amount, top up, and confirm we wish to top up. It's that easy. And you can view your top up history by pressing the help cursor on your bank balance. When you submit a game, its scores are added to several high scores lists. If it's a weekly game and the week hasn't ended, it gets added to the weekly high scores. All games will be added to the quarterly high scores list, which is a sum of all of the games that you've submitted within that quarter. And finally, the score will be added to the 21-day high scores, which are the highest 3 scores that you've submitted over the past 3 weeks. To view how your current game's score is calculated, press the help cursor on the score. If you've managed to place the words Lord, Word and Worm together, you will receive a 100-point bonus. If you've used every letter of the alphabet on the board, you receive a 260-point bonus. You also receive points for all the letters on all of your tiles, multiplied by 3 if they're on quartz gems. If you have closed the loop, that is, you've joined one end of the worm to the other end of the worm, you get a bonus 25% of your total score. And finally, the percentage bonuses of all of the ruby gems are combined and then applied to that total score. It's important to note that the percentage bonuses are all compounded together. So as you receive more of these percentage bonuses, your score accelerates and increases more rapidly. That means that on average a half-completed board will have more than twice the score of a quarter-completed board. The bonus added to your bank for submitting a high-scoring game can be quite significant, especially if the game has scored several thousand points. After submitting a game, you can choose your next game. Here we have the weekly challenge that we have not yet started. This is another challenge from the Lord Wordworm team. You'll also see any other challenges or recommendations from other friends who are playing, and you will always have an easy, medium or hard game to choose from. The harder games, although more difficult, have potential for much higher scores because they have a larger number of ruby gems. Starting a new game costs 5 cents. If your Lord Wordworm bank balance is less than 5 cents, you will only be charged the amount in your bank. By applying this small fee to start a new game, players are dissuaded from trawling through an excessive number of random games looking for their perfect board. A good strategy when playing a board is to decide how important it is to achieve the maximum score versus how much you'd like to increase your bank balance. Generally, aiming for a very good score will reduce your bank balance, whereas aiming to just increase your balance will not result in a high score. Having said that, the bonus for submitting a well-played game of 1 cent per 50 points can significantly increase your bank balance, so it's all a bit of a balancing act. Well, thank you for watching the advanced tutorial. If you want even more information, please read the advanced guide on Lord Wordworm's website. And we hope you enjoy playing Lord Wordworm.